Good morning or good afternoon or good evening, wherever you are. My name's Adrian Henson, and the purpose of this video today is to talk about one of the biggest passions in my life, sales, and how to be good at sales. Now, I've titled this, Do the Same Thing, Get the Same Results. So look, this is for those people who are either entering sales or even people long-term in sales. I want to try to encourage you to look at things in a different way. Sometimes people wonder why they don't get success in their selling their service, their product, their idea, whatever it is they're trying to do, because they keep to the same routines and thinking it will pay off. There's this old adage where you chuck enough mud and some of it sticks. But the problem with that kind of mantra in sales is it can damage your reputation. So you might get sales, but then you might lose sales as well. So my purpose today is to talk about a self-learning booklet I've now produced, which will help people who have been in the profession a long time, but also will help people entering for the first time to develop your skill in sales like people develop skills in any other profession on the planet. You know, it's got to be something where you are passionate about being successful. But I hear a lot of young people getting into sales. And why do they get into it? Because they're promised that they're going to make a lot of money. But, you know, this is the wrong reason for getting into it. If you put money at the top of your head, you're actually not really credible. You've got to enjoy who you work for. If you work for a brand, and you've got to be a brand ambassador, you've got to believe in the product, the service, the idea, whatever it is you are trying to influence people to buy into. So my booklet that I've developed recently gives you a way into this that's very simple. It's I don't want to just make this a sale for the booklet, but I know that lots of people don't have time to actually take an hour out or a half an hour out to do online training. And I do online training across the world. So it doesn't matter what time zone you're in, I can help you. So let's just have a look at what I am producing here. So let's just get this up and let's just have a look at the guide that I've just developed. So I've actually, it's a daft title, but the reason is, the purpose behind a daft title is if you can sell a rubber duck, you can sell anything. But the point about sales is there's more to it than meets the eye. And this booklet will take you through the journey to be successful in sales. Now, this is something I've said a lot over the years. Everybody thinks they're good at sales. You know, it's like anything else. You don't just come into something and you're naturally good at it. You know, I, for many, many years, have been involved in teaching. And my educational background has helped me to develop my ability to communicate with people. And obviously, I've learned a lot over the years. And this kind of process of communication has put me in good stead for the business of sales. I've also worked for massive companies. I worked for American Express in the Middle East, where I was the sales trainer across the whole of the MENA region. And my purpose was to increase the productivity of all the sales teams across in Jordan, Lebanon, Qatar, Kuwait, Oman, Bahrain, UAE, Egypt, and beyond, Saudi Arabia, etc., etc. So the whole of that region. And it was about building proper processes that we can do when it comes to creating the sales process. And in my booklet, I do actually suggest the way you can do this. You know, the main purpose of this booklet, it covers 3 areas. It's very simple. It talks about the sales process. Now, that becomes, if you're good throughout the whole process, you will be consistent from the start. And that when you get to the end of the sales process, you will then link everything together. You don't at any point veer off and create another agenda. So it's very important. So it's in 3 parts. It's very simple to understand. And the first part is the sales process. If you're good at it, it becomes a cycle, because people, if they think you're professional, they even enjoy the experience of dealing with you, they will recommend you and refer you. Now, then there's the next part, which has changed over the years. We've got face-to-face and we've got online meetings these days, but it's still people focused, and we need to develop the skills for this. And it's not easy. You know, you have to be somebody who can do lots of things, listen a great deal. And that's one of the things my dad used to say to me. He used to say, so you've got sales process here. Everybody has their own sort of ideas. So this is in modules and so on. So I'll stop sharing all that now, because that to me is not the only reason for this. It's to chat to you as people out there and to see what we can do with our life and with what we can do with our sales. So one of the things you have to do is not put money at the top of your agenda. If you enjoy doing something, if you really do enjoy doing something, you will then create passion in the people you deal with. So if you believe in the product that you are recommending or the service you're recommending, you're more likely to get a take up. So you've got to have integrity, honesty, and the ability to influence people. But it's not about you talking. People in sales often over talk. So my dad used to tell me, you have 2 ears and you have 1 mouth. So you should listen twice as much as you talk. And you know, that's never been a truer sort of version of that than recently. People that sell sometimes don't listen. And what you should be doing is not talking at people, but you should be asking questions. And this is the important thing about sales. If you engage people, you will get them to respond. And it's a 2-way process. And my booklet will teach you that. But look, it's not just about the booklet. I actually do sales training online. And, you know, it can be individual or it can be for small groups. And it can be for any product, because the principle of selling is the same. It's about getting somebody to believe that they start off needing something, and then by the end of the sales process, they're wanting it, they're craving for it. And it happens with step-by-step process. But look, you've got to be somebody who enjoys working with people. I mean, I've seen and worked with a lot of teams. And to be honest, 80% of people who go into sales actually don't make a lot of money. They work very long hours and get the odd sale. It's only the top 20% that actually use all the knowledge they have in the world in order to get to a sale. And then if they do, they will make a good living. But, you know, one of the things is that you should ask yourself is, when you've been in the process, are you listening to people? Are you pushing something, or are you actually finding a solution? Try to be more involving and interactive with your client, and make sure that you do listen to what they say. Most people's objections are not objections. They're a kind of a fear. They want convincing. They want more information. But if you get objections at the end of a sales process, that means you've changed something. You haven't linked what you said you would do at the start. I mean, obviously, when I used to go into meetings, I'd say, look, based on the phone call that we had with you recently, I said that the purpose of my appointment would be to discuss this, and to get more information about you. So when I actually was involved in sales, I would make sure that every step of the way, I referred back to the step that happened before. But look, this is just a beginning to people. What I would suggest you do is, please look at the links on this video and click on them and get the guide. Read it through. You'll find it may just be enough to change your life. And it's £3.99. I don't know what that is in dollars. I don't know what it is in Bahraini dinars. I don't know what it costs, but it's minimal, but it will help. And people, we need to get back to the ability to be professional in sales, not just trying to overwhelm people and bombard them with things and hope that they'll just buy into it. So it's kind of about quality over quantity. You know, you'll have sales managers tearing their hair out seeing this video. They'll say, who's this guy talking about this? We need the numbers, get in there, get the deal. Look, you do, but the more you behave like that, the more likely you're going to have a fail rate. And you know what? Rejection is not that easy to handle. You imagine you ring up 50 people in a day and 45 reject you. You've got to have really broad shoulders to take that. But mentally, it's not good for you. And I've seen young people come into sales and jump out of sales as quickly as that because they are demotivated. They think, oh, come on, this is impossible. But nothing is impossible if you are prepared to train and learn the skills. And that's what this is all about. You don't become a great footballer by just saying, I'm a great footballer. If you've got a good right leg and not a good left leg when you're kicking, you've got to improve your left leg. If you're fit, but not as fit as the person next to you, you've got to get fitter than them. So you've got to try even harder. So it's about hard work, but at the same time, it's about being involving and listening and being part of the process. And if you can turn a need into greed, you know, when you get people say, I need this, somebody says, I need a new mobile phone or a new cell phone, whatever you call it, right? Well, you know what? That's nonsense, really. You don't need a new cell phone. It's probably because you want one with more sort of specifications on, something that's a bit faster, and then that need turns into greed and becomes a want and a desire. And that's what a good salesman can actually do to a client they've never met before. They get them interested. They start setting the flame in that person's mind, and they get back the passion, and suddenly they find that they want to go ahead because they think this is something that's going to make them look good, make them feel good, whatever else. So there's lots and lots of things that we can develop, but nobody really teaches it anymore. You get salespeople, telesalespeople who are given a robotic script to read. I don't really read it properly because they don't really understand it, and it's not their own voice. And you have to be somebody who believes in your product and your company. So you have to be a brand ambassador. Okay, well, look, this is one of my first videos I've done on sales. And if you like this type of video and it helps you, please get in touch and let's do some more. And ask me what you want to do. Do you want to do the beginning, the end? What is it you want with your sales process that you want help with? I can help you with it. So get in touch. There's lots of things on this video that you can click onto, and I hope to get feedback soon. Take care.